Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, Imperial Dane, and today I have for you a 1 versus 1, yes indeed 1 versus 1, on Angoville, yes indeed another Angovillian match with the open fields, with the housing, with the lots of dead fields, dead zones, where of course people can't sneak closer or past you. And of course then the entire west side, which is completely open fields, a few hedges, wrecked cars and all that, but nothing much. And of course we're still continuing our market garden days, and of course this is also the Monday novice fight, so this is quite a bit of going on. And of course this is Dutch Angoville for the moment. And who shall be fighting? Well, in the northern corner we are seeing Norbert from Slovakia. Norbert from Slovakia. Yes indeed, with a Kettenkrad. 9th SS kampfgruppe, ready to show those British what it is all about. And of course in the southern corner we shall be seeing Bunnytester, yes, he who tests a bunny most thoroughly. Although what does that mean, I don't want to know. But here he is. Irish Armoured Guards perhaps, or some infantry division, I can't remember right now, but 30th Corps it is. And let us get right down to it. Let us see what the British and the Panzer Elite will come up with in this very moment, in this Monday novice fight. Kettenkrad moving out. Panzer Grenadiers on the way from the headquarters. Recce section moving towards the east, and of course that is what the British prefer to reconnaissance as. They basically just call it Recce. Americans call it recon. I prefer Recce. It sounds at least a bit more casual, and for some reason a bit more professional actually. Slovakia and Slovenia, jolly good. I know Slovakia was part of Czechoslovakia, but that's about it. And Czechoslovakia was the place of the Panzer 38T, which of course was later built into the Marder III, the Hetzer and the Flak Panzer 38T and the Grille. Self-propelled schwere Infanteriegeschütz. Headquarters command truck moving out. Apparently he's going for this fuel point. Panzer Grenadiers though are moving down. Perhaps they also have an idea what's going to be happening, because this is rather the normal thing on Angoville, that someone pops down that big fat command truck right here. But Panzer Grenadiers are moving in, counter-attacking, opening up here. Will they be taking up position behind the wooden cut? No, they charge in, continuing across open ground. Now they move back, but again, open ground, open ground. Be careful with open ground. It can make your troops much more easy targets. Lieutenant taking a munitions point. Panzer Grenadiers continuing to move in. Panzer Grenadiers taking heavy losses. They will have to retreat, although that looks like one was sniped. Usually some British players, the more sneaky and devious ones, let us just briefly pause for this, wait until you're down to one man, and then when you're trying to retreat, they snipe him, thus costing you an entire team. And that can be very painful. I experienced it rather recently, so there you go. Hope that might be helpful for you. More Panzer... My god, my throat is just crusting up. But further Panzer Grenadiers are arriving from the north. Headquarters command truck, of course, waiting to sort of plop down. It can't until there is something. And of course, currently, while that's happening, Mr. Bunnytester can't get any resources to get manpower. So, of course, no fuel, no munitions. And the Kettenkrad was trying to move in and sort of secure this, because again, one thing to note as well, the command truck can't place unless the point is fully secured. If it's being captured, it can't place down, I believe. Well, that might be slightly wrong. Panzer Grenadiers pulling away. They might want to retreat directly. There we go, at least. No, they're getting inside the building. Why isn't he retreating? He needs them reinforced immediately, and he needs more Panzer Grenadiers. Now, there we go, but the others need to retreat. They need to get back for reinforcements so they can be fully fledged combat units once more. And currently the entire western area of the map is completely unused. There's not even the slightest hint of a British or a German soldier at the moment. And that chap really needs to get the bloody hell out of there and back to base. No, he's setting a forward barracks, my goodness. He wants to reinforce from there and possibly also get some defensive operations so he can also heal from there. That's interesting. And there we go. The British command, of course, using the Bukars to set up a mortar pit. Mortar emplacement. So you can basically fire over it. And of course, it will be much harder to actually get to, because then in this case you have to stick your head into the Hornet's nest right in by the British, and they could in fact be placing something here, so it's going to be even harder. And of course this is also open territory, so even that much more difficult for you. If you're going to try and take out this mortar emplacement, of course they can cover this area, and of course probably also this fort barracks. This is really an unfortunate position for Norbert from Slovakia. He's really placed himself in a spot of trouble, and there we go, mortar opening up. So he's already been spending this much manpower in a position which he probably won't even be able to really hold due to the mortar bombarding it. Rather an unfortunate mistake. He rather should have gone for something from the headquarters, like, or something building like, say, I don't know, a kampfgruppe company, logistic company, but something.
Have upgraded defensive operations.
And this is something you have to be aware of with the British, and in particular when it involves any sort of bocage. Be aware of mortar emplacements. They love those damn mortar emplacements, and of course you should try to at least calculate it into your plans where they might be placing it, and if they are, keep an eye on it. Otherwise you might suddenly find yourselves that you decided, oh right, this is a nice spot to defend from, and then suddenly you're finding mortar rounds landing right in it.
Go ahead, sir. Ready to move.
So it is very important to note things like that. And looks like he is planning to do something, but he's lacking the manpower. Perhaps also the fuel a bit, since again he didn't really take on in the west. And now we are seeing a slit trench going down, placing up something to hold the line right there as well, although again coming under fire. Panzer Grenadier gets sniped by that sneaky reconnaissance section. The Bunnytester pushing onwards, and looks like the kampfgruppe company coming out. Infantry section under fire, one goes down. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are just beyond the range of fire of the mortar. Not. And continuing to lay down the slit trench, but of course note they are more vulnerable when they are laying down any sort of construction work, but then again once they are in the slit trench they're going to be bloody hard to get out of there, and you're probably going to be needing some sort of fire to actually get them the devil out of there.
Attention. The enemy advances.
Reconnaissance section pushes onwards. This is really not looking good for Norbert of Slovakia or his Kampfgruppe Norbert. The most unheroic sounding of the Kampfgruppen. Reconnaissance section retreating, and looks like a field support truck is arriving, heading for the fuel it looks like, and getting incendiary grenades so he can charge ahead and drop some incendiary grenades right into that slit trench and turn it into a barbecue trench.
Burn them out.
There we go, incendiary grenades have been prepared.
Sectors of the Commonwealth.
Not aware if the Germans actually use such incendiary grenades, but they probably do. Really aren't exactly slouches with history. Although they do take some liberties from time to time, although within reason, thankfully, and not adding in this completely stupid things like some developers have been seem to do, like the mouse. And infantry section retreat, of course, not much of a victory, since of course they retreat right back there behind the range of the mortar pit, I suppose. And another slit trench going up, and of course now the field support truck is up. And now he's getting Panzer tracks. Apparently he's going to rely heavily on the Panzer Grenadiers. Of course already, as you might have noticed, that's not really working out for him. And interesting enough, he's not really going down through here either. Then again, there's a mortar pit, and he's probably hoping to sort of charge in, dash in, and fire off some Panzer tracks, and then knock out that Panzer mortar pit. And looks like an recon section is now heading west. But in fact, the British commander isn't really spending a lot of manpower. He's saving it up a lot. Got a casualty station, a mortar emplacement. That's it, really. That's really a good sign.
Squad, ready for orders.
Panzer tracks being equipped,
We are losing ground.
and Bren guns being equipped as well for others. And retreating once more. One goes down. 17-pounder anti-tank gun. Apparently Mr. Bunnytester is really expecting something big, and it's not a huge mechanized bunny. No, he's expecting panzers. And there we go, moving in. Bren gunners taking up positions though. A solid suppressive volley though from the Gewehr 43 gunners could do something. No incendiary grenades. Oh dear, again they're not grenades. But there we go. Casualty clearing station might be knocked out, but still he needs to push onwards. No, don't get bogged down. And now taking heavy fire from Piers, and everything else needs to retreat. And by retreat I mean press T or press the retreat button, don't hang about. And now the casualty clearing station wasn't even knocked out, that was a bit unfortunate. 17-pounder gun opening up as well. Pretty large anti-tank gun. It was rather more of a static one. It rather required towed vehicles to actually be moved about, as manhandling it was rather unfeasible. Which is rather why you can't move it around like a Pak 38. And the Kettenkrad got knocked out. That's a bit unfortunate, but looks like he's getting just more Panzer grenades. No, he's getting a mortar half-track now. More Panzer Shreks being equipped. Bren gunners running away. 17-pounder gun opening up. And looks like a recon section is taking up position there, but of course a single incendiary grenade. And that house is not going to be the place you want to be. And there we go. Mortar half-track on the way. Another Panzer Shrek ready. And a Stuart light tank, not a 17-pounder gun. Stuart, that would be technically impossible. The tank wouldn't simply be able to move. It would be tipping over. The gun is simply too big. And the 17-pounder gun just continues to fire away, and perhaps Mr. Norbert from Slovakia has rather realized there's nothing really stopping an infantry assault from the front. Panzer Shreks flying, but as canister shot knocks out quite a few Panzer Grenadiers, and now they're just standing about. Oh dear, retreat, retreat, don't clump up. He's blobbing right in the range of a mortar. That's very bad. That's usually among the don't do that, you stupid bastard. Oh dear, there we go. Heavy losses, Panzer Shrek dropped. Oh, come on, Norbert. You can do better than that. Let's go have a look at the Bunnytester, who has gone for the Canadian Royal Artillery. Of course, he's probably going for supercharged round. What does this mean? His mortar is going to be able to fire even farther, and sadly there's no way for me to actually check this on the map or show it, sadly. More slit trenches going down. Mr. Norbert does hold most of the map, but I'm not really sure that's going to be able to help him much, considering the way he's losing infantry and the way he's rather mismanaging his resources. Stuart light tank moves in for the kill. Forward barracks getting shot up. And oh dear, the mortar half-track needs to get away. Some losses to the reconnaissance section right here, but that seems to be it. Incendiary rounds going down on the victory points. Stuart moving in for the mortar half-track. Panzer Elite base not really much impressive at the moment. And the forward barracks is now going to be cleared out. That's 260 manpower out the window, down the drain. Tank buster, heavy infantry, but still no buildings that can really help him with something heavier to deal with this British, because infantry is not going to cut it in the long run. Panzer Grenadiers are advancing. Cannons are shot. Oh dear, these Panzer Grenadiers need to get out of there. Don't try to reinforce them at the front. And much too late. That was disgraceful. And the Bren gunners have secured the Panzer Shrek, making them some rather lethal buggers. Armor command truck on the way. That's only to make things worse for our Panzer Elite friend, who still needs to be doing something. But sadly he seems to be not really getting it. Oh dear, this damn headset can be a bit tiresome at moments. Sort of tries to slip off. Tank busters advancing, but oh, not really going well for him. Panzer Shrek flying out from the building, but it's under mortar fights, under a lot of fire in fact. There we go, he needs to get them out. Come on, get those tank busters out, please. And no, they were lost, and the Panzer Shrek dropped. Panzer Grenadiers pick it up, but they need to retreat. Retreat, I said, and mortar rounds land all amongst the British troops. Some of them their own. Piat left behind. The Panzer Shreks get inside the building within the range of the mortar. Again, bad idea. And there we go, team lost. I can't help but feel that Norbert doesn't really know when to retreat at all. Unit preservation does seem to be the one thing he really needs to work with, that and understanding the concept of mortars and the Panzer Elite a bit more properly. I was told apparently that he was rank 11, but I can't help but feel that doesn't say much about him. Stuart advancing, taking a hit from the Panzerschreck. Bunnytester doing some terrible things with that Stuart. Floating quite a bit of manpower and fuel though. Not looking too good. Mortar half-track getting repaired. Panzer Grenadiers reinforced. Tank busters just standing about. Realizing that Norbert isn't really a proper German warrior name anyways. And probably thinking that might be the reason why they're losing. Panzer Support Command going up. Perhaps hoping for some anti-tank half-tracks to perhaps solve the situation, or perhaps a Panzer IV. British infantry advancing. Stuart getting repaired. Yes, most cinematic. And the British infantry is advancing through here. Mortar advancing, getting ready to bombard these Britons, trying to take the strategic point. Always a nice thing to do. Panzer Support Command is up. Staghound has arrived on the field. And a kangaroo on the way. My goodness, that's a bit of a rarity. Infantry section taking fire. And actual fire, in fact, as the ground is turned into burning ground. Most advanced process. And the Piat there is still left behind. A Kettenkrad has arrived on the field. Looks like he has gone Luftwaffe, as you can see from the camouflage pattern on the rear of it. Panzer grenades advancing, incendiary grenades going in. Staghound and Stuart opening up. 17-pounder gun, British troops advancing. Panzer grenadiers out in the opening, no cover, getting slaughtered. One team lost, Panzerschreck left behind again. He's just dropping Panzerschrecks left and right. This is not good. Another Panzer Grenadier team lost. Leaving him behind with only one. Yes, indeed, this is truly a Monday novice fight. Even if it's rank 1, he's certainly not... rank 11, he's certainly not the best one. Or level 11, I suppose. As I might want it called. Sabers getting burned alive and lost, apparently forgotten. Yes, indeed. Staghound and Stuart moving in, taking fire from the flak feelings, who can do a bit of damage though. For that mortar half-track is not going to see the light of day. Staghound taking quite a bit of fire, although most of it bounces harmlessly off. But there we go, damaged engine, rear arm ahead continually.
Munitions depot is being overrun.
And the Staghound barely makes it out of there. Kettenkrad in the south. Kangaroo has arrived. A lieutenant apparently hanging about, using it as his most opulent command vehicle. And you probably could use it like that, although that might be a bit of a waste. Then again, he could all have all the tea and biscuits he want inside it. And there we go, engaging the Kettenkrad. And apparently the gun there on the Kettenkrad is, or the Kangaroo, is apparently decent. And a Panzer IV is advancing.
The Germans are taking one.
The Kettenkrad is not moving away again. Unit preservation does not seem to be Norbert's keen skill. Not entirely sure though what Norbert hopes to achieve with the Panzer IV there, since there's a 17-pounder gun. More sappers arriving on the field to replace the others burned alive. Kettenkrad trying to escape the Kangaroo. And the Kangaroo doesn't quite seem to be aware of what it's doing. Silly Kangaroo. That's not how you do it. There we go, hunting down the Kettenkrad. Kangaroo versus Kettenkrad. Who shall win? Yeah, it's not the most exciting match, but there you go. Monday novice fight, and I did still have some interesting lessons, I hope. Now getting a Wirbelwind again. A Wirbelwind at this stage is not really going to help him much. He needs something to deal with those Stuarts and Staghounds, and something that can actually pull the fight. But again, he lost all his infantry in some bloody stupid engagements. By attacking right here across open ground instead of trying, oh, I don't know, from here. I mean, he kept attacking from the same angle. I mean, you don't do that. You try to attack from numerous others. Try to catch him off guard. Not just from the same bloody angle and getting gunned down continually. And now calling in Luftwaffe infantry. Perhaps a bit too late. Let us speed things up. This isn't really going to go anywhere. Firefly on the field. And now things are really bad for Norbert, who has absolutely nothing to actually deal with the 17-pounder. Oh well. The remaining forces of Norbert not really doing much. Yeah, it's not the most engaging fight, I'm sure, but again, I rather wanted someone to learn a lesson or two. More fireflies, and well, nothing else really. And there you go. Slightly more action looking scene, actually probably more than the entire match. I do hope you enjoyed this Monday Novice fight, and again this is Monday Novice, and yes, we did see some rather novice behavior, in particular on the part of the Panzer Elite commander. Yes, he's apparently level 11, sort of rank 11, but I mean, he probably had a plan, but that sort of rather fell apart when this Panzer Grenadier spam was rather easily countered because, well, he kept attacking across open ground. You don't do that. That's what you call a bad move. You want to use the terrain to your advantage, not to your enemy's advantage. And you also want to be attacking from numerous approaches, but again, he didn't do that. He blobbed up constantly within the range of a mortar. That's incredibly stupid. I mean, he had some decent ideas, but the execution of those ideas completely and utterly fell apart, which was really his main problem. He didn't really prepare in the longer sense either. So I mean, really a lot of mistakes there from the Panzer Elite commander. And Norbert, Mr. Bunnytester, on the other hand, had the right idea with the mortar emplacement, the casualty clearing station, the positioning, everything. So there you go. Again, I do hope you enjoyed this fight. If not, well, tune in tomorrow. There shall be something a bit more high ranked, I at least hope, if I get the games for it. And if not, we'll watch it in a replay of your own. That's always fun. So there you go. Cheers.